Guardians, today I'm hopping on a brand new Destiny account to see if I can solo flawless the very first dungeon, Shattered Throne. This will be a completely free-to-play account, meaning limited weapons, limited exotics, and even no prismatic. If I can beat Shattered Throne solo flawlessly in under 24 hours, I'll be donating $100 to the Bungie Foundation. And to make it even harder, if I don't complete the challenge in under 12 hours, I'll still donate $20. Let's get right on into it. Because I'm doing a solo attempt, that means I won't have teammates to help carry me or even provide buffs or debuffs. I planned on using Solar Warlock to have the most balance of survivability and damage. I planned on getting a solid special weapon in the kinetic slot. That way I can use it as a secondary DPS option. Then I wanted a solar primary weapon, ideally with heal clip in the energy slot. And ideally I was going for Dragon's Breath, which is a fantastic solo DPS weapon. But later I learned that that was a grave mistake. With raids and dungeons being normalized to power level 1945, I wanted to make sure I knew my power level goal. So I reached out to Mossy Max, who is a well-known damage tester in the Destiny community. He told me that dungeons are 1950 power, and they cap you at 5 below. So if I hit 1950, I'd be dealing maximum damage, but the incoming damage is capped at 1965. So this means my main goal is to get to 1945 power. But since I'll be going for a solo flawless attempt, I want to be as close to that 1965 as possible to take the least amount of damage. And before we fully dive in, this video took a ton of time and effort to make, so leaving a like on the video for the YouTube algorithm would be much appreciated. Alright, let's get started. As soon as I finished creating my character, I started that timer, and after powering through the opening mission and getting my first few weapons, I was finally able to meet up with Shah Han. I quickly opted to skip the New Light tutorial, since, I've put way too many hours in this game. At the tower, I met up with Ikora to get a hold of the Solar subclass. Now at base level, the Solar subclass isn't the best, so we need to build up our Glimmer in order to purchase all of the aspects that we want, but I will touch on that later. For now, we have the Sunshot exotic hand cannon and a few legendary weapons that will aid us in our journey, with the goal being to get Dragon's Breath as my DPS weapon. I quickly checked the kiosk to see that I will need 100,000 Glimmer and an exotic cipher. After taking on what felt like 1,000 quests, I realized that most of the mods and other helpful parts of the game are locked behind the Guardian rank system. So I decided to start getting to work on that. I met with Devram K and got to work on that Spark of Hope quest so that I could gain access to the infamous Risk Runner and that much needed XP. When turning in some bounties, I remembered that I could put on a ghost mod to have that extra 12% XP, only to realize I only have a green ghost and not exotics. So I assumed that I couldn't put on the mod because I didn't have an exotic ghost. After going on a very long jumping puzzle, I found a stash that once belonged to the infamous Cade 6. RIP, which gave me the Risk Runner, a very powerful arc SMG for early game in Destiny, and honestly, even late game. Completing the New Light quest, I grabbed Well of Radiance and the healing grenade in case I might need it later. Fast forwarding a bit, I completed the Final Shape intro mission and a few things on Nessus in order to gain access to Guardian rank 3 in just under 2 hours. Feeling good. At this point, I had already completed a few objectives for the Guardian rank 4, and yet still no ghost mods. I launched a timeline mission to help progress my Guardian rank, and as I was working my way through the objectives, I realized that one of the challenges for Guardian rank 4 was to equip a ghost mod. So this got me thinking, maybe I missed something. Maybe I should be able to already have an XP mod on my ghost. As I'm sprinting through these timeline missions, I remembered seeing a few green ghosts available from season 1 in the collections tab. So I grabbed one of those, and sure enough, I could now equip those ghost mods. I missed over 2 hours of 12% XP because of something so counterintuitive. Bungie, please fix this. Now that I've completed the timeline reflections and every other Guardian rank 3 challenge, time to head back to the tower and rank up to Guardian rank 4. Okay, at this point I'm feeling good. In 2.5 hours, I'm already Guardian rank 4, and I'm already power level 1944. So at this point, I still need to grind out some Glimmer for the rest of that Solar subclass. And I need to grind out a few weapons that I can use. And I also need to progress my Guardian rank at least one more time to get access to armor mods. So it's on to complete some Pathfinder objectives to complete my Guardian rank. And at the same time, I wanted to double up and try to complete some objectives for the Starfire Protocol exotic quest. That way I can get 2 birds with 1 stone. Time to grind out some Vanguard ops. man, I forgot how easy it was to die in the early game when you don't have a million ways to heal yourself and you only have 38 resilience. I just need to remember, as long as I'm completing bounties, it really doesn't matter how many times I die. I just can't die when I'm in the dungeon. And with that, we have our first Vanguard ops done. Ooh, I can't forget to commend my fellow Guardians. All right, now that we've done that, let's run it back. With the next boss down and our fellow Guardians commended, time to move on to the next step in the Starfire Protocol quest. After completing the Lost Sector and heading back to Ikora in the tower, we need to pick up the Fusion Grenade. So now would be a good time to also pick up Ember of Empyrean, Ember of Searing, and Ember of Mercy, so that now I can proc Restoration with Fire Sprites, and easily create those Fire Sprites from killing Scorched targets, and then I can get solar kills to extend that restoration. Nice. I can also now pick up Starfire Protocol, and I also remembered that I wanted to pick up Phoenix Dive and Heat Rises, which I think will be helpful later on. For that next step in the Starfire Protocol quest, I launched the Arms Dealer quest. Thankfully, when I launched into the Arms Dealer strike to help finish off that quest, I loaded into a team that was already halfway through it, so we're definitely going to make up some ground here. And now that I've completed the Starfire Protocol quest, it's once again time to rank up, this time to Guardian rank 5. Still feeling good. We're just over 3.5 hours in, and I only need to complete one more Guardian rank to get all of my precious armor mods that I love so dearly. After getting my Gunsmith and Solstice vendor challenges done, I returned to the tower to complete that step of the Guardian rank. Huh, that's weird. I turned in the second weekly vendor challenge, and it didn't show the objective complete. At this point, I know I'm in trouble. When Bungie decided to put in the Pathfinder as the bounty replacement system, they seem to have forgotten that you need weekly vendors to progress your Guardian rank. So I can't hit Guardian rank 6. That means I don't get the mods I like the most. No weapon surges, no harmonic siphon for orbs, and no good class mods. This is really gonna restrict my build. I thought about starting a second character on this account just to get those gunsmith bounties done so I could have my mods, but I wasn't sure if I should do that, and if I did do that, would I have to run the timer? Let me know in the comment section if I made the right move by not creating that second character, or should I have done those gunsmith bounties off camera since Bungie forgot to update their system? This is just the beginning of my problems, and I didn't even know it. So for the time being, I wanted to grind out some Onslaught and hopefully get a few god rolls. I'm attuning Mountaintop for now since it seems like a decent backup option for DPS. And with the first drop, auto-loading with Rampage. Not bad, but we can do better. I did get a random Ross Argo to drop with Rewind Rounds and Onslaught, which is a pretty spicy roll. But unfortunately, I need to use a Solar Primary to keep up that restoration. So we won't be using that this time. And with my third roll, I get a Mountaintop with auto-loading and Frenzy, and even with Spike Grenades. I'm pretty happy with that. Thankfully, I had two pretty good teammates and were able to get through round 50 so that I can get some extra high-end materials, and sure enough, with the last drop on Mountaintop, I get auto-loading and recombination. Pretty good drops for my first Onslaught run. Alright, now that we're about 5.5 hours in and almost halfway to 12 hours, I wanted to grind out some Glimmer in case I needed to upgrade anything or buy more parts to my builds. So, off to do some public events. Alright, now that I have my 100k Glimmer and I got an exotic cipher from a triumph that you get in the early game, time to go get my baby, the infamous Dragon's Breath. Wait, no. I need Lightfall to get it? Fuck! Well, back to the drawing board. What other exotic can I even get? All of these require a DLC? You're telling me I can only get the Red War exotics? I mean, I could go for Sleeper Stimulant or Polaris Lance, but it honestly just doesn't really feel worth it to me. Maybe I can use the cipher on the exotic armor I want. Oh wait, I need to pay for that too. Lovely. Okay, well, if I can manage to get the Karnstein armlets, I'll be fine. So I need to run some Vanguard ops to get those exotic engram drops. So back to farming up some Vanguard ops. Okay, we're 7 hours in. I've gotten all of my exotic drops from ritual activities. Time to go turn them in and hopefully get lucky. Come on, big money, big money. Aeon Soul? No, come on, man. Okay, we got it. Starting to feel good again. So now that we've had to switch up our build quite a bit, I'm thinking the best bet would be to get a good edge transit and just use my Sunshot as a primary. So time to start grinding some more Onslaught. And the first drop is an edge transit. Nice. Okay, what'd we get? No way. Cascade point and bait and switch? I mean, personally, I'd rather Envious Assassin in the first column, but hey, I'm not complaining about a cascade point and bait and switch roll. That's huge. And on wave 19, we fail. Well, at least I can go back to the tower and attune a different weapon. I'll go with Succession this time to hopefully get another good backup special weapon. So back to Onslaught we go. And we get all the way to wave 49 and unfortunately fail. Still no good succession drop. I mean, we have a roll with reconstruction that I can use, but nothing too good. A lot of them rolling with firing line. So at this point, I realized that I wanted to go and grab Ember of Torches to have a more consistent way to proc that Radiant, since we won't be able to have weapon surges going on. I did accidentally hide my timer to take a screenshot, but I do turn it back on soon. So I grab Ember of Solace and Celestial Fire, but honestly, I doubt I'll use those. I mainly just wanted to grab Ember of Torches. So I wanted to head back into Onslaught to hopefully get a better roll on our succession, and at the same time, hopefully get some higher power level drops, since I don't have that many powerful or pinnacle drops available to collect. And with beating wave 50, we still didn't get a better succession drop. But now that we are over 9.5 hours in, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time for another full run of Onslaught, especially if I wanna beat it by that 12-hour mark. At this point, I'm feeling pretty good. For weapons, I have a succession with recombination, and then I can use Sunshot as my primary weapon. And for the heavy, I have a cascade point, bait and switch, edge transit. I have everything I want for my solar subclass, and I'm at power level 1963 with halfway decent stats. So I decided to do one more Bonfire Bash run, since I know it will be quick, and that way I can hopefully get another powerful drop to level up at least once more. And I was able to get a crowning duologue with reconstruction and bait and switch. Nice, but my edge transit will be better, so I'm gonna infuse it into that. And with that, I'm able to hit 1964, just one power below that damage resistant cap of 1965. We just hit 10 hours in, so I'm thinking that it's time for our first attempt. All right. We're finally here, 10 hours later. Honestly, I kind of forgot how dark this dungeon is, and I'm actually terrified to fall off an edge, so we do need to remember to be a bit careful. I'm honestly not too worried about this first area. All we have to do is make sure to finish a target to keep up that restoration ×2. This first encounter is all about killing the mini bosses and then going to the next area and killing that mini boss. We do have to be a bit careful of the snipers and those guys with the shields that could boop us off, but otherwise this first encounter is a breeze. Like I said, I'm honestly terrified of falling off the map. No. Ooh, that was a close one. All right, and just like that, encounter number 1 is done. Time to play it safe and move on to encounter number 2. All right, going through this area, we have a lot of enemies hiding in corners, so I'm just gonna slowly pick them off. Oh gosh, I remember this part. We're just gonna have to take it slow, spawn those ogres, and pick them off before they can push us off the map. I really hate these little beams. I feel like I'm gonna miss them every time. Oh my god, he spawns that close. I gotta get back. I gotta get back. Ah, yes. Now the infinite thrall part. I remember when heavy-handed, the mod used to not have a cooldown. There's a few times I just came in here to create infinite orbs by punching and punching and punching. Ah, good times. Okay, finally on to the second encounter. I just need to make sure I'm playing cover to keep safe. Slowly weaken these wizards and then try to kill them all at the same time and pick up their orbs, slam it, and then it would be time for DPS. Okay, wizard number 1 is now weak. And second wizard weak. Wizard number 3 is now also weak. All right, time to kill this wizard and go finish off the rest. Final one done, and now time for DPS. Okay, not the cleanest DPS, but we made it through. Should be able to take him out in the next phase. And just like that, second boss done. I'm feeling good. Now we just have one more traversal section and that final boss. We're making pretty good time too. Oh man, I hate this wall. I'm always scared I'm gonna get pushed off. I just gotta remember, take it nice and slow and take out those snipers when I get around to it. Okay, almost there. Just gotta make it through this oh my god, there's a hole there? What the heck, man? Okay, well, might as well finish out this run and then try again. Okay, I feel pretty good about that last boss. I still have time to make it back, but that run almost took me 45 minutes, so I really only have one more shot at this. All right, attempt number 2. Same thing goes. This first area should be pretty easy. Yep, easy peasy. Moving on to encounter number 2. All right, just like last time, we're gonna weaken the wizards, finish them off, and then DPS. I gotta try to remember to proc Cascade Point by hitting that crit a few times first. Just like that, second encounter down. Now, time to not die on the jumping puzzle again. Okay, we're making good time. I still have 45 minutes left, but I'm not sure if I'll have time for another run if I die here. Let's go, past that annoying boop wall, onto the final boss. All right, the main goal is gonna be to take out the Scions and weaken the Knights. And then I'm gonna kill all 3 Knights at the same time and then DPS the crap out of the boss. All right, they're all pretty weak. Time to take them out. Okay, DPS time. Let's go. And just like that, we've taken a brand new account and beaten the very first dungeon solo flawlessly. Through all the hardships, we did it. I took a brand new account and solo flawless Shattered Throne in less than 12 hours. I learned a lot about the new player experience and how much this game really isn't free to play. If you like the series, remember to leave a like on the video and comment down below letting me know if you think I can beat Pit of Heresy in under 12 hours. Keep an eye out for future videos as we continue to explore the ever-evolving world of Destiny 2. Until then, may the threads of fate be ever in your favor. This is Lucky Mech signing off. See you on the next adventure, Guardians.